Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another beer review, continuing with some Treehouse beers. This one courtesy of my man James. I appreciate you, sir. This is King Creamsicle. And this beer essentially is King Julius conditioned on vanilla beans, which sounds interesting AF. They released Creamsicle a little while back, which is Julius on vanilla beans, and then they did King Creamsicle, which is King Julius on vanilla beans. So I'm a fan of King Julius. Love that beer. This one's 8.4% alcohol by volume. Says it was brewed in Charlton, Massachusetts. Treehouse is everywhere, Massachusetts. Charlton, they still have their Munson spot. Sandwich, Deerfield, all those places. So this was canned on June 11th. What does this say? The Burger King. I don't know what that means. Burger King? What does that mean? Today's July 3rd. So what is that? 3 weeks in the can? This might actually be perfect right now. Into the Treehouse glassware, because beer tastes better out of proper glassware. I'm interested to see what this beer is like. Liquid Gravity in San Luis Obispo does a beer called Orange Cream Machine, and it is straight dessert 50-50 bar in a glass. So I'm wondering if this is like that. That was a double IPA too. I did not review that beer, but my man Craig sent me that and I drank it. It was crazy, like how desserty it was. So this looks like Julius. It's that burnt orange finger of fluffy off-white head. That beer, or the head is seriously like marshmallow-like. Crazy. Looks awesome in that proper glassware. So let's go ahead and shove our fat nose in this one. See what it's got. Yeah, I mean, this legitimately smells like a 50-50 bar. That's what it smells like. It is confectionery, so much vanilla. It smells like vanilla ice cream with orange. Man, this beer, I mean, you gotta like desserty, I guess, but this beer smells fucking awesome. That's all it is, though. It's so much vanilla. It smells like when you used to walk into, I've talked about this a lot in other reviews, Orange Julius. When you would walk in there and you could smell like the Orange Julius is being made with orange juice and vanilla ice cream, that's what it smells like. This does not smell like beer. It doesn't smell hoppy. It doesn't smell anything like a beer does. This smells like a fucking smoothie with vanilla ice cream. It smells awesome. James, cheers. I mean, it's a 50-50 bar in a glass. So this beer actually offers a little bit of like beer characteristic on the finish of that. Very much hop forward with bitterness. The way that it smelled, I was expecting it to be like the Orange Cream Machine from Liquid Gravity. That beer, I mean, the smell was almost identical to this, and the taste was just straight dessert. There was no beer characteristics to that beer. This beer has beer characteristics. It's actually funny, like the hops and the bitterness kind of take away from the vanilla that you're smelling and tasting up front. Up front, it's just vanilla and orange juice. That's what it tastes like. But as it goes across your palate, the bitterness comes in, it digs into your tongue, and it just finishes like you're kind of chewing on like hops. The nose of this beer is outrageous. And the taste, the front of the taste of this beer, like right at the front of your tongue, it follows that aroma with that orange and vanilla, but then it kind of dies off middle of your tongue all the way to the finish. It gets bitter and hoppy. I kind of wish it didn't have that. I think this would be like a more enjoyable kind of desserty, fun double IPA with just the waves and waves of orange and vanilla that you get on the front. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is still, you know, King Julius. So it's big, it's bitter, it's hoppy. This is a fun beer. Like I said, the other beer was way more desserty, and it was kind of, I don't want to say it was a chore to finish, but it got to the point where like, wow, this is really sweet. This is really like, you know, orange float like. This is like that, like I said, on the front of your tongue, but as it goes across, it digs into your tongue, gets bitter, hoppy, grassy, offers like a little bit of like pithy kind of an orange thing. I like this beer. Like that Treehouse mouthfeel is there. It's creamy. I just kind of wish the the hops were dialed back just a touch, like middle of your palate to the finish, just so it could let that vanilla shine with all the orange that you get. But this is a fun beer. It's tasty. But yeah, it just like that kind of, you know, intensely bitter, grassy, hoppy thing, I think kind of takes away from all that orange juice with vanilla kind of ice cream vibe that you get on the front. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. It's good. I mean, this is a good beer. Is this something I would drink all the time? No. I'm not into like wanting to drink vanilla beers back to back to back unless we're drinking stouts. But it's a tasty beer. That bitterness, it's just, there's something about it that I wish that was just dialed back a little bit. It's like chewing on raw hop pellets. That's how like bitter, grassy, herbaceous it is. And like I said, it just kind of like doesn't allow that vanilla and orange juice that you're smelling and tasting on the front of your tongue to shine. If they did that, I mean, this beer would be a fucking banger, but it's good stuff. If you like King Julius, I'm sure you'll like this beer, especially with the vanilla edition. The nose is straight fire. The taste isn't quite to what the nose is, just because I mean, I know I keep repeating it, but that grassy, bitter, intense, raw hop thing that goes from the middle of your tongue all the way to the finish this entire time I've been talking, it kind of just takes away from that orange creamsicle thing that they're going for. So good beer. Nothing that's like, holy shit, this is the greatest beer ever, I need more of these. But the label art with him eating a 50-50 bar is awesome, because that's exactly what it smells like. It just doesn't quite follow up on the taste. But that's King Creamsicle from Treehouse. James, I appreciate you sharing this one, bro. Have you guys had it? Let me know what you thought of it. Maybe this had some can variation. Maybe yours wasn't as hoppy as mine. But yeah, that part of it is just kind of, not that it's off-putting, I just kind of wish it was dialed back a bit to, you know, like I said, we could get more of like that orange creamsicle float kind of a thing going on. But good beer either way. So that's it. I'm out of here, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. See you very soon. Cheers.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse, so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.